So, something I was kind of interested in maybe possibly doing videos about is, I'm a vapor. You know, all the memes about, yeah, yeah, bro, we get it, you vape. They're somewhat true. Um, I really got into it, to quit smoking. I had tried everything from the gum to the patch to Chantix to Zyban, everything. I mean, if there was a smoking cessation method at one point or another, I tried it, and none of them worked. The longest I had ever quit for was maybe a month, and my friends would eventually throw cigarettes at me and be like, "Hey, asshole, just have a fucking cigarette," you know? Um, or I would cave. I would just get really bad cravings, and I would cave, and I would go right back to smoking. That is until I tried vaping. My father started doing it, and I was visiting him in Salt Lake City, and I tried it, and it was good. One of the biggest things that I loved about it was the different flavors. I mean, everything from Captain Crunch with crunch berries to, pancakes and maple syrup to cotton candy to Lucky Charms. I mean, there was everything. If there was a flavor profile you liked, you could find it. And that's part of what I loved about it. But, as you advance and you get into the sub-ohm devices, you start going through juice at a crazy rate. And with the FDA regulations and everything going on now, the cost of juice is getting ridiculous. I mean, for a 120 milliliter bottle, which I go through in about a week, it'll cost 30-40 bucks. And that's not, and with coils and everything, that's not significantly cheaper than cigarettes. And so one of the things I got into recently that I've been doing is mixing my own juices, and it actually works out really well. 120 milliliter bottle of juice, once you break down the cost of all the ingredients, is like less than $2. The initial investment is significant because you buy everything in bulk. But I spent essentially $90, and I got enough supplies to keep me in juice for months. I mean, it's pretty amazing, and it's really simple. I thought it would be more complicated, and with all of the regulations coming down the pipeline, there may come a day in a year, maybe even less, where 90% of the juices on the market don't exist anymore. Because the companies went under. They couldn't afford to stay in business. Because, one of the things they're doing is they're going to make e-cigarette manufacturers and e-juice makers go through the same qualification processes that the cigarette companies have to go through when they introduce a new product, which can cost millions of dollars for one flavor, and they're going to make them do it for all of their flavors. It's madness. But you can buy all of the supplies you need to make juices really easily. There's quite a few different sites that you can go to where you can order it on the cheap. I mean, and the ingredients are very simple. It's propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, nicotine, if you want nicotine. You don't need it, but it helps. And then the flavorings, which are just food flavoring, artificial food flavoring. Some of them are natural. It all depends on what you get. And, and then you need, I use a digital scale for mixing my juices and whatnot. But anyway, to make a long story short, what I was thinking is I could do a video where I detail how I make my juices, and I was just wondering if there was any interest for that out there. I mean, I know a lot of truck drivers are getting into it, and it's way easier than you think. So if there's an interest, I'll go ahead and I'll put one together and do like a sample flavor. Show you all the tools that are available out there and how to do it. Anyhow, let me know in the comments if you're interested. And until next time, drive safe.